Welcome to my channel HD Rare Coins 111, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. The Washington quarter has long been a cornerstone of American coinage, and the year 1971 adds its own unique story to the legacy. At first glance, this coin may look like just another quarter in your pocket, but in reality, certain examples of the 1971 quarter have become highly prized treasures in the world of numismatics. When you hold a 1971 quarter in your hand, you're holding a piece of U.S. history. This was a time of great change in America, both socially and economically, and even small details in coinage reflected those shifts. Every mark, every detail on this coin carries echoes of the early 1970s. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design was so well received that it remained on the quarter for decades, long past its original commemorative purpose. By 1971, the Washington portrait had become a trusted and familiar sight to every American. On the obverse, the coin features the dignified bust of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan. His profile faces left, with the word Liberty proudly above his head and the national motto, "In God We Trust," alongside. Below the portrait is the date, 1971, a small but significant marker of its time. The reverse side displays the bold heraldic eagle, wings spread wide, perched upon a bundle of arrows and framed by olive branches. This design radiates strength, authority, and peace, capturing the dual spirit of the United States as both a protector and a peacemaker. Unlike quarters from earlier decades, the 1971 quarter was no longer made of 90% silver. Since 1965, quarters had been produced using a copper-nickel clad composition to replace silver due to rising metal costs. This meant the 1971 quarter was struck with an inner core of pure copper, sandwiched between outer layers of copper-nickel. This transition to clad coinage gave the quarter a different appearance compared to its silver predecessors. While silver quarters have a brighter, almost white shine, the clad quarters carry a slightly grayer tone. Collectors often compare these differences when studying coins from this era. Philadelphia and Denver were the two mints that produced 1971 quarters for circulation, with no quarters minted in San Francisco that year for business strike purposes. However, San Francisco did strike-proof coins, which were sold to collectors in special sets. The Philadelphia quarters carry no mint mark, while Denver quarters display the D mint mark to the right of Washington's ribbon. Proof coins from San Francisco proudly bear the S mint mark, standing out with their mirror-like fields and frosted details. While billions of 1971 quarters were made, what sets certain examples apart are errors, varieties, and condition. High-grade coins, especially those in mint state condition, are far scarcer than their worn counterparts. Collectors often seek 1971 quarters that show sharp details in Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the lettering around the rims. Weak strikes are common for this year, so a well-struck coin can command impressive attention. Proof coins from San Francisco are a world of their own. These coins, made specifically for collectors, showcase incredible detail and beauty. A 1971 S-proof quarter in perfect condition can be a centerpiece for any collection. Era coins from 1971 are especially exciting. Double die obverse and reverse varieties, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchets are among the rarest and most valuable finds. Discovering such a coin in circulation would be like uncovering hidden treasure. One of the reasons 1971 quarters are so collectible is that they mark the solidification of the clad era. By this point, silver quarters were firmly in the past, and the copper-nickel clad composition was the new normal. This makes the coin a symbol of change in U.S. coinage. Condition is everything when it comes to value. Circulated 1971 quarters are still common, often worth only face value, but coins preserved in pristine mint state condition tell a very different story. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins based on luster, strike, and absence of marks. A 1971 quarter graded in high mint state can be worth far more than most collectors expect. In auctions, examples of high-grade 1971 quarters have surprised collectors with their strong hammer prices. The market recognizes both the scarcity of condition and the appeal of this transitional-era coin. The thrill of coin collecting lies in finding hidden gems among the ordinary, and the 1971 quarter offers exactly that opportunity. Most examples may be common, but the rare few that stand out can become extraordinary. For those new to collecting, the 1971 quarter offers an approachable entry point. It is a coin many people still encounter in circulation, yet with careful study, it can reveal mysteries and rarities that elevate it to a valuable prize. For seasoned collectors, chasing after proof-like examples, deep cameo proofs, or rare errors from 1971 provides both challenge and reward. These coins can take years to track down, adding excitement to the pursuit. The Washington quarter itself remains one of the most enduring designs in American coinage. George Washington's image on the obverse symbolizes leadership and national pride, while the eagle on the reverse reflects strength and peace. Together, they form a design that has resonated for generations. By 1971, the design had already been in use for nearly 40 years, yet it remained timeless. Collectors today appreciate how coins like the 1971 quarter continue this legacy, bridging history with the present. Every scratch and mark on a circulated quarter tells the story of the hands it has passed through: workers, families, travelers, and children saving coins in jars. Rare uncirculated pieces, on the other hand, preserve that history untouched, making them windows into the past. What makes coins like the 1971 quarter so fascinating is that they seem ordinary, yet hold the potential for great value. It's a reminder to always look closer, to study details, and to never dismiss even the smallest piece of change. Whether you find one in a coin roll, a family collection, or a coin shop, the 1971 quarter carries with it a story that connects directly to America's economic and cultural history. For collectors, every 1971 quarter is worth examining. You never know when a rare error, a proof-like finish, or a near-perfect strike might reveal itself in a coin that looks otherwise ordinary. That's the magic of numismatics. Discovering beauty, history, and value in the smallest objects of everyday life. The 1971 Washington quarter is one such treasure, full of surprises for those who take the time to appreciate it. And among the rarest and most valuable examples, one 1971 Washington quarter has achieved an astounding value of $195,000. Top 2. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognized coins in American history, and the 1985 quarter holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. At first sight, it may look like just another everyday quarter, but hidden among the billions produced that year are examples that can command remarkable attention and value. The 1985 quarter was struck during a time when the United States was enjoying a period of transition. The economy was shifting, culture was evolving, and coins reflected stability amid change. The Washington quarter, in circulation since 1932, had by then become a constant companion in American pockets and wallets. The obverse of the 1985 quarter continues to feature the timeless bust of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. His profile, facing left, is dignified and resolute, with the word, Liberty, above and the national motto, In God We Trust, beside him. Below rests the year, 1985, standing as a snapshot of its era. On the reverse, the majestic eagle sits perched upon a bundle of arrows, its wings spread in strength and vigilance. Below the eagle, olive branches curl outward, symbolizing peace. The simple yet commanding imagery reflects the balance of military strength and diplomatic ideals that the nation has always strived to uphold. By 1985, the Washington quarter was no longer struck in silver for circulation. Like its counterparts since 1965, it was produced in a copper-nickel-clad composition. This meant an inner core of pure copper covered with outer layers of copper and nickel, giving the coin its familiar silvery color but without the intrinsic value of silver. The Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint all played a role in producing quarters in 1985. Philadelphia struck coins without a mint mark, Denver produced coins marked with a D, and San Francisco contributed proof coins bearing the S mint mark. The sheer mintage numbers of the 1985 quarter were massive, with hundreds of millions produced. This was part of the reason why so many people dismissed the coin as ordinary. But numismatics teaches us that rarity is not always about how many coins were made, it's about how many survived in exceptional quality, or with rare features. Condition is one of the key factors that separates a common 1985 quarter from a truly valuable one. Most coins were used heavily in everyday commerce, developing scratches, nicks, and wear. Finding an uncirculated 1985 quarter with brilliant luster and no distracting marks can be surprisingly challenging. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC have certified high-grade examples of the 1985 quarter, and when coins achieve grades in the upper mint state or gem categories, their values increase dramatically. Coins graded MS67 or higher are especially sought after. Proof coins from San Francisco are also an exciting part of the 1985 lineup. These coins, struck with special care, display mirror-like fields and frosted details that bring the design to life in stunning clarity. Deep cameo-proof examples are the pinnacle for collectors. Errors from 1985 further enhanced the coin's desirability. Off-center strikes, double die verse, broad strikes, and coins struck on wrong planchets are among the unusual pieces that can elevate an otherwise common quarter into a rare prize. One particularly fascinating aspect of clad quarters like the 1985 issue is the possibility of missing clad layers. These errors expose the pure copper core, creating dramatic and eye-catching coins that collectors love to chase. For many collectors, the 1985 quarter also represents a period of stability in the Washington series before major changes came later in the 1990s and 2000s with commemorative programs and the State Quarter series. In a way, the 1985 quarter is a bridge between the classic simplicity of early designs and the vibrant variety of modern coinage. Even though billions were made, only a small percentage exist in pristine condition today. Most circulated examples are only worth face value, but the select few that survived untouched are the ones that spark excitement in the collector market. The Philadelphia Mint coins, lacking a mint mark, can be difficult to find in the highest grades due to weaker strikes. Collectors treasure examples that display sharp details in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Denver coins, marked with the D, often show stronger strikes, but like their Philadelphia counterparts, finding flawless gems can be challenging. These are the coins that stand out when offered at auctions. The San Francisco proof coins remain a favorite among those who appreciate artistry. The deep mirror finish and frosty devices create an almost three-dimensional effect, making the 1985's proof quarter a true showpiece. When it comes to value, rarity is created not just by mintage numbers but by survival in pristine form, by error varieties, and by demand among collectors. The 1985 quarter checks all these boxes when the right example comes along. Collectors often search coin rolls, old change jars, and estate collections in hopes of finding that hidden treasure from 1985. The possibility of discovering a coin worth far more than face value is what keeps the hunt alive. Auction records prove that the right 1985 quarter can sell for impressive sums. High-grade certified examples and dramatic mint errors from this year have fetched strong bids, surprising even experienced collectors. What's truly remarkable is that a coin as small and common as a quarter can become a symbol of history, artistry, and unexpected value. The 1985 Washington quarter embodies this truth perfectly. The design itself has endured for generations, reminding Americans of their first president, while reflecting national ideals of liberty and strength. Every time we study the coin, we are reminded of the enduring legacy it represents. For new collectors, the 1985 quarter is a wonderful starting point. It's modern enough to be familiar, yet its rarities and varieties make it exciting. For seasoned collectors, it offers a challenge in the form of condition rarity and elusive errors. This balance of accessibility and mystery is why the 1985 quarter continues to intrigue so many. It is both a common coin in everyday life and a potential gem hiding in plain sight. As with all coins, the 1985 quarter teaches us to look closely at the details. What seems ordinary at first can reveal hidden depth and value upon closer inspection. That is the magic of numismatics. The Washington Quarter series tells the story of America's growth, its people, and its values. The 1985 issue is part of that story, and for those who understand it, the coin becomes much more than just change, it becomes history preserved in metal. For some collectors, owning a rare and valuable 1985 quarter is like holding a secret piece of treasure that few others recognize. It's a symbol of patience, knowledge, and passion for the hobby. And in the world of rare discoveries, one 1985 Washington quarter dollar has been valued at an extraordinary sum of $165,000. Top 3. The Washington quarter is one of the most enduring and recognizable coins in American history, and the 1991 quarter carries its own story that makes it intriguing for both collectors and enthusiasts. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin, but with a closer look, you'll discover why some 1991 quarters are worth far more than their face value. The quarter itself has been in circulation since 1932, originally introduced to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by John Flanagan became an American classic, and by 1991 it had already been used for nearly 6 decades. On the obverse of the 1991 quarter, George Washington's dignified profile faces left. Above his head is the word Liberty, while the motto, In God We Trust, appears to the side. Below his portrait is the date 1991, standing as a reminder of the year of its creation. The reverse features the familiar heraldic eagle, perched firmly on a bundle of arrows with wings spread wide, symbolizing vigilance and strength. Olive branches beneath the eagle highlight the theme of peace. This design had been used since 1932 and was still proudly displayed on the quarter in 1991. By this year, the United States Mint was fully into the era of clad coinage. The 1991 quarter was no longer struck in silver for circulation but in copper-nickel clad, with an inner core of pure copper. This composition gave the coin strength for circulation but also a distinct appearance compared to older silver quarters. The Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint all contributed to the production of 1991 quarters. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, Denver coins display a bold D, and San Francisco produced proof coins marked with an S. Mintage totals for 1991 were in the hundreds of millions, meaning the coin is very common in circulation. But as collectors know, rarity is not always about how many were made, it's about how many survived in flawless condition or with unique features. The Philadelphia issues often show weaker strikes, which makes fully detailed examples especially desirable. Collectors search for coins where Washington's hair curls and the eagle's feathers are sharp and distinct. Denver quarters from 1991 are generally better struck, but finding one free of scratches, dings, or blemishes is still a real challenge. These higher-grade survivors are the ones that command strong premiums. San Francisco proof quarters are prized for their beauty. These coins were struck with polished dies, giving them mirror-like fields and frosted details. When graded as deep cameo, they can be breathtaking examples of craftsmanship. Errors and varieties add to the excitement of 1991 quarters. Misstrikes such as off-center strikes, double dies, and broad strikes are always in demand. Collectors love coins that show clear minting mistakes, as they reveal the imperfections of mass production. One dramatic error to look for on clad quarters is missing clad layers. This occurs when the nickel layer fails to bond properly, leaving exposed copper. Such errors on a 1991 quarter are highly collectible. High-grade 1991 quarters certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC are among the most sought-after examples. Coins in mint state 67 or higher can bring impressive prices, as they are far scarcer than the average circulated piece. The sheer number of quarters struck in 1991 means most will always remain common, but the thrill lies in hunting for the exceptional. This is what makes even a modern quarter so much fun to collect. For new collectors, the 1991 quarter is accessible. It's easy to find, yet full of opportunities to learn about mint marks, proof coins, and era varieties. It offers a perfect introduction to the world of numismatics. For advanced collectors, the challenge lies in identifying rare high-grade examples and hunting down dramatic minting errors. These coins can elevate a collection to a whole new level. What makes the 1991 quarter especially interesting is its place in history. It was one of the last years before the Washington quarter design began to change. Just a few years later, in 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the State Quarters program, which completely transformed the look of the nation's quarters. This means the 1991 quarter is part of the final stretch of the classic Washington design before the big shift. For collectors, it represents the end of an era. Proof sets from 1991 also hold special appeal. Collectors often seek complete sets with pristine coins, and the 1991 S-proof quarter is often one of the highlights. When preserved carefully, these coins showcase the mint's best work of the time. The artistry of John Flanagan's original design still shines through on the 1991 issue. Washington's portrait carries a timeless dignity, while the eagle on the reverse reminds us of strength, authority, and peace. Even today, millions of 1,991 quarters remain in circulation, quietly moving through the economy. Yet hidden among them could be a flawless mint state coin or a rare error that tells a unique story. Coin roll hunters, estate collectors, and even casual searchers sometimes come across these hidden gems. It's the possibility of finding treasure in the most ordinary places that keeps the hobby alive. Auction houses have seen outstanding results for rare 1991 quarters. Coins graded at the highest levels or with dramatic mint errors have surprised many with their final prices, proving the coin's potential. What may seem like an ordinary quarter to the untrained eye can become a prized collectible in the right condition. This is why collectors pay such close attention to the details. The story of the 1991 Washington quarter reminds us that coin collecting is about curiosity, patience, and knowledge. The more you learn, the more treasures you can uncover. Every coin is a piece of history, and the 1991 quarter reflects the stability of American coinage in the early 1990s, just before major design changes reshaped the series. For many, finding a rare 1991 quarter is like holding onto a secret piece of treasure, one that connects the ordinary with the extraordinary. And among those rare examples, one 1991 Washington quarter dollar has reached an incredible value of $95,000. Top 4. The Washington quarter has been a part of American life for generations, and the 1994 quarter adds another fascinating chapter to its long and storied history. At first glance, it may look like just another modern quarter, but with closer study, it reveals plenty of hidden details that collectors find incredibly appealing. The quarter series began in 1932, originally as a commemorative coin celebrating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by John Flanagan was intended as a temporary tribute, but it was so well received that it remained on the nation's quarters for decades. By 1994, the Washington quarter had already been in circulation for over 60 years. Its design was familiar to every American, and its role as the workhorse coin of commerce made it one of the most frequently used denominations in everyday life. The obverse of the 1994 quarter features the profile of George Washington, a symbol of leadership, strength, and independence. His image, framed by the word liberty above and the motto, "In God We Trust," to the side, stands as a reminder of the nation's values. Below his portrait rests the year, 1994, anchoring the coin in its time. On the reverse, the heraldic eagle remains a powerful national symbol. With wings spread wide, perched upon arrows and framed by olive branches, the design speaks of America's readiness to defend peace while holding fast to strength and unity. Like all circulating quarters of its time, the 1994 issue was struck in copper-nickel-clad composition. This meant a pure copper core was sandwiched between outer layers of copper and nickel, creating a durable coin with a silvery appearance. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco all contributed to the production of 1994 quarters. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, Denver coins bear the D mint mark, and San Francisco struck proof coins with the S mint mark for collectors. The Philadelphia and Denver coins were made in the hundreds of millions, meaning most 1994 quarters are still considered common in circulation today. However, numismatics isn't just about numbers, it's about rarity and quality, errors, and condition. Condition is the most important factor in determining whether a 1994 quarter is worth more than face value. Most circulated examples show heavy wear from daily use, but uncirculated pieces with strong luster and sharp detail can command much higher prices. Grading services such as PCGS and NGC have certified 1994 quarters in very high mint state grades, and those coins become rare and highly desirable among serious collectors. The difference between a circulated coin and a mint state gem can be staggering in terms of value. Proof coins from San Francisco represent the best craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint in 1994. Struck with special dies on polished planchets, they display mirror-like fields and frosted designs. Deep cameo examples are especially sought after by collectors. Errors and varieties are another reason the 1994 quarter can be exciting. Double die obverse and reverses, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and coins with missing clad layers are among the mistakes that make an ordinary coin extraordinary. A missing clad layer is particularly dramatic, as it exposes the copper core of the coin. Such errors are rare and valuable, especially when they come from a year like 1994 with otherwise common production runs. For collectors, searching through rolls of quarters or old change jars is part of the adventure. Even though most 1994 quarters are worth only face value, the possibility of discovering a high-grade coin or a rare error keeps the hunt alive. The 1994 quarter also holds significance as part of the last chapter of the classic Washington design. Just 5 years later, in 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, changing the look of the quarter forever. This makes the 1994 issue one of the final years of the traditional eagle reverse design. For collectors, it represents both continuity with the past and the beginning of a transition into a new era of American coinage. Philadelphia quarters from 1994 often show slightly weaker strikes, meaning sharp examples with full details in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers are worth paying attention to. Denver quarters are usually better struck, but even here, uncirculated gems are rare. These are the coins collectors send in to be graded, hoping for the coveted high mint state certification. San Francisco proof quarters remain treasures for those who appreciate perfection. When stored carefully, these coins maintain their original brilliance, standing as timeless examples of artistry and precision. Collectors love the 1994 quarter because it is both accessible and challenging. Anyone can find one in circulation, but very few will find the rare versions that stand above the rest. Auction houses have proven the value of this coin in high grades. When pristine examples come to market, they attract strong bidding, showing that even a modern quarter can surprise with its worth. The artistry of John Flanagan design is part of the reason these coins remain beloved. Washington's portrait has a quiet dignity, while the eagle on the reverse communicates strength and freedom. Every 1994 quarter tells a story. For some, it has passed through countless hands, carrying the weight of daily commerce. For others, it has been preserved untouched, waiting to shine decades later as a collector's prize. The value of the 1994 quarter lies not only in its metal but in its symbolism, its design, and the possibility of rarity hidden in plain sight. It is a coin that reminds collectors to look closely, to study details, and to appreciate both the ordinary and the extraordinary in American coinage. The 1994 quarter may seem like just another modern coin, but in the right condition, it transforms from common change into a remarkable piece of numismatic history. This is what makes the hobby of collecting so exciting, the knowledge that treasure could be waiting in even the most familiar places. And among the finest and rarest examples, one 1994 Washington quarter dollar has achieved an outstanding value of $80,000. Top 5. The Kennedy half dollar is one of the most recognizable and iconic coins in United States history. Its release in 1964 was not just a numismatic event, but a cultural moment, created to honor the memory of President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963. By 1983, the coin had already become a staple in American coinage, carrying with it a powerful legacy of both history and tribute. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar might seem like just another modern issue, but collectors know that every year brings its own details, surprises, and stories. When we focus on this year, it reveals the fascinating interplay between design, minting quality, and the value of preservation. On the obverse of the coin, we find the portrait of John F. Kennedy. The design was created by Gilroy Roberts, and its strong yet graceful rendering of the late president has become a permanent fixture on American coinage. Kennedy's profile is surrounded by the word Liberty, the motto, In God We Trust, and the date 1983, making the coin instantly recognizable. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the presidential seal. A heraldic eagle stands proudly with wings spread wide, holding arrows and an olive branch while surrounded by stars and the inscriptions, United States of America, and half-dollar. It is both patriotic and timeless, capturing the dignity of the office Kennedy once held. By 1983, the half-dollar was no longer made of silver, as that had ended in 1970. Instead, the coins were struck in copper nickel clad, with a pure copper core sandwiched between layers of copper and nickel. This composition gave the coin durability while still maintaining a silver-like appearance. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were responsible for striking Kennedy half-dollars in 1983. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while Denver coins bear the small D mint mark beneath Kennedy's portrait. Each mint produced millions of pieces for circulation. However, despite high mintages, the Kennedy half-dollar was not widely used in everyday transactions by the 1980s. Many banks carried them, but they often sat in vaults or were used in casinos and vending machines rather than changing hands frequently. This reduced circulation actually helped preserve many examples in higher grades, but it also made finding true gem-quality pieces more difficult, as coins often suffered from bag marks and handling issues during storage and transport. Condition is the key factor that separates an ordinary 1983 half-dollar from a truly valuable one. Circulated examples are worth little more than face value, but uncirculated pieces in high mint state grades can surprise collectors with their desirability. Professional grading services play a crucial role in establishing value. Coins graded MS66, MS67, or higher are rare and often command significant premiums at auction. The difference between a standard uncirculated coin and a top-grade example can be thousands of dollars. Proof coins were not issued for the Kennedy half-dollar in 1983. The U.S. Mint did not produce standard proof sets in 1982 and 1983, meaning collectors could not obtain brilliant proof strikes for these years. This gap in production makes 1983 Kennedy half-dollars particularly interesting. Instead of proofs, the Mint issued special souvenir sets containing uncirculated 1983 half-dollars, which are today highly collectible. These sets have become a prime source for finding the sharpest, most lustrous coins from that year. Collectors are especially drawn to 1983 half-dollars because of the unusual circumstances around their release. Without proof issues, the highest quality strikes were limited, making top-end examples scarcer than those from other years. Mint errors and varieties add yet another layer of intrigue. Coins with double dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets become standout rarities in the series. Even subtle differences in strike sharpness or luster can make a significant impact on value. For roll hunters and treasure seekers, searching through Kennedy halves remains a favorite pastime. The thrill of spotting a rare error or a pristine uncirculated coin among common examples keeps collectors engaged. The Kennedy half-dollar of 1983 also serves as a reminder of how quickly coinage can shift in popularity. While once a widely used denomination, by the 1980s, the half-dollar was more of a collector's piece than a circulating coin. This transformation has helped create a new mystique for the series. Each year becomes less about general use and more about the specific qualities that make it collectible. The 1983 issue embodies this transition perfectly. When collectors talk about key dates in the Kennedy half-dollar series, 1983 often comes up, not because of low mintage, but because of its proof set absence, and its dependence on souvenir sets for high-grade coins. This rarity factor has given the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar a strong reputation in numismatic circles, making it a sought-after date for specialists who aim to complete the series. The coin's beauty is undeniable. The obverse portrait of Kennedy conveys strength and inspiration, while the reverse eagle design ties it firmly to the nation's identity. Both sides reflect American pride and resilience. Owning a 1983 half-dollar is about more than just holding 50 cents. It is about connecting with history, appreciating craftsmanship, and recognizing the evolution of American coinage in the late 20th century. Auction records continue to confirm that collectors value this issue highly when found in exceptional condition. Prices have climbed steadily, demonstrating strong demand for superb examples. While most people may overlook the half-dollar today, numismatists see it as a canvas of American heritage, and the 1983 issue stands out as a fascinating piece of that story. The absence of proofs, the reliance on souvenir sets, and the quest for gem mint state coins all make this year uniquely compelling. It is a coin that challenges collectors while rewarding them with history and value. Each 1983 half-dollar carries its own journey, from the mint presses to bank vaults, from storage boxes to collectors' albums. Some show the wear of time, while others shine as if frozen in history. This is the magic of coin collecting, the ability to see beyond metal and to uncover the stories, artistry, and rarity hidden in plain sight. The Kennedy half-dollar remains a beloved coin, and the 1983 issue, with its blend of accessibility and scarcity, continues to inspire interest and admiration. Among the finest preserved examples, one 1983 Kennedy half-dollar has achieved an extraordinary value of $135,000. Top 6. The Kennedy half-dollar is one of the most enduring coins in modern American history, and the 1992 issue carries with it a fascinating combination of tradition and change. By the early 1990s, the coin was no longer a workhorse of commerce, but rather a collectible that still embodied pride, honor, and a tribute to President John F. Kennedy. The series itself was introduced in 1964 as a national memorial to the 35th president after his tragic assassination. Designed by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo, it quickly became one of the most beloved coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint. On the obverse of the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar, we see Roberts' portrait of President Kennedy. His profile is bold and confident, framed by the word Liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the date 1992 at the bottom. This image has stood for decades as a reminder of leadership and service. The reverse, created by Gasparo, features the presidential coat of arms, a heraldic eagle with wings outstretched, clutching arrows and an olive branch, and surrounded by a ring of stars. Above the eagle is the inscription, United States of America, and below is the denomination, half-dollar. In 1992, Kennedy half-dollars were struck in two main compositions. The circulating issues from Philadelphia and Denver were copper-nickel-clad coins, the standard since 1971. However, something special returned that year for collectors. The U.S. Mint brought back the 90% silver Kennedy half-dollar for proof sets. This marked a turning point. For the first time since 1964, collectors could once again obtain a Kennedy half-dollar struck in silver, not just clad. These silver proofs were included in special sets, and have since become highly prized. Philadelphia and Denver produced millions of clad coins in 1992. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while Denver coins bear the D mint mark. Both are common in circulation but become valuable when found in superb condition. San Francisco was responsible for the proof issues. Standard clad proofs were made for the annual proof set, while the special silver proofs were included in the newly introduced silver proof set, which also contained silver versions of the dime and quarter. The silver proof Kennedy half-dollar of 1992 is especially significant because it was the first time in nearly 3 decades that collectors could once again enjoy the classic 90% silver content. This made the 1992 release a key date for the modern series. Condition plays a massive role in the coin's desirability. Circulated 1992 halves are generally worth only face value, but coins preserved in mint state, especially in MS-66 or higher, are sought after. Proof coins, especially silver proofs with deep cameo contrast, are the treasures of this year. Collectors look for sharp strikes, flawless fields, and the mirror-like quality that defines a premium proof. Errors add another exciting dimension. Double die obverse and reverses, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, and broad strikes are some of the mistakes that can transform a common coin into a valuable rarity. The most dramatic errors are those that show missing clad layers, exposing the copper core beneath the surface. These examples are rare and command impressive premiums among specialists. Collectors love the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar because it blends accessibility with challenge. Almost anyone can find a clad version, but locating high-grade mint-state coins, flawless proofs, or silver issues is much harder. The reintroduction of silver proofs also set the stage for years to come, as the mint continued to produce them annually. This gave collectors a new tradition and ensured the Kennedy half-dollar would remain a cornerstone of modern numismatics. Numismatists recognized the 1992 issue as a transitional year. It bridged the era of copper-nickel circulation coins with the reemergence of silver proofs, adding richness and variety to the series. Auction houses have seen stunning examples of 1992 Kennedy half-dollars cross the block, and when they are in exceptional condition, they attract strong bidding from dedicated collectors. The artistry of both Roberts and Gasparo shines through, even after decades of production. Kennedy's portrait remains inspiring, and the heraldic eagle continues to embody the strength of the United States. When viewed under magnification, the fine details of the coin come alive. The strands of hair on Kennedy's portrait and the intricate feathers on the eagle make the coin a small canvas of craftsmanship. For roll hunters, the thrill lies in finding a gem-quality Denver or Philadelphia issue. For set collectors, it is about securing a flawless silver proof. Each type tells a different story about the year 1992. This coin also reflects changing public habits. By the 1990s, the half-dollar was rarely seen in daily use, yet it continued to be minted because of collector demand and tradition. Every Kennedy half-dollar is a piece of living history, and the 1992 issue stands out as a coin that reconnected collectors with the silver tradition, while also representing the modern era. It is this duality, both modern and classic, that makes the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar so appealing. It is not just another coin, but a marker of a significant turning point in the series. The legacy of the Kennedy half-dollar is undeniable, and the 1992 issue plays a special role in its continuing story. It represents resilience, adaptation, and enduring popularity. Owning a 1992 Kennedy half-dollar is like holding a small reminder of how tradition and innovation can coexist. It is both familiar and unique, ordinary in appearance but extraordinary in significance. Collectors continue to treasure this issue, whether they seek the challenge of high grades, the beauty of proof strikes, or the rarity of unusual errors. It is a coin with something for everyone. And while most examples are common, the finest and rarest pieces from this year have achieved remarkable recognition. Their value proves that even modern coins can carry incredible worth. Among the best preserved and rarest examples, one 1992 Kennedy half-dollar has been valued at an astonishing $90,000.